Hello.
So,
Thank you. I couldn't talk.
we didn't want you to talk anyway, Kappa.
Okay, so you go ahead and start streaming.
Yeah.
Oh, I have the thing. Okay, there we go. Just gonna close the stream now. And I will take off my big Jamaican bacon logo. That should probably go.
By the way, while we're getting set up, everyone should spam Benny.com.
And
Kappa.
put Opie. I hope the game window is still there. This game doesn't have windowed mode. Shoutouts to Glacial Thaumaturg in the chat. He is the world record holder.
Glacial, pretty based. Dude, everyone's spamming Benny.com.
Oh, there goes someone with Jamacanbacn.github.
What?
I am literally a meme.
And
Which one are you live on again?
Three.
Three.
Okay. I'll go ahead and get you up then. On stream. Cool. Cool. Okay, get ready to start. Just about done.
Before we start, I just want to go ahead and say this is any percent new game plus. The reason why it's considered new game plus is because the game does not make a new upgrade file for your character even if you make a new game. So all the upgrades that we get throughout the game are stored all the time, so that's why it's new game plus, and that's actually going to help us throughout the run with killing enemies faster, and there's even a few tricks.
Okay, cool. By the way, how's the audio, guys? Is it good? I can't tell, but I think it's good. We'll go ahead and start this run, I guess.
Okay, the time starts when I click start game.
Okay.
You'll see like the screen start to fade or whatever.
Okay, just give me a countdown and then you can go ahead and go.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. So, loads in this game are actually consistent because it's a bad console port like every other PC game. So, you may notice weird frame drops and so on when I'm just randomly running around, and that is due to the game loading on the fly.
Is being installed as system administrator. Together, she and Clue will shape our system's future. Clue and I have
Jeff Bridges is in this game, actually.
The untimely death of another ice.
So you'll notice I already have like really high health, and I have 5 tanks underneath that, and that is due to New Game Plus.
While I'm gone, I want you to monitor the perimeter. Prevent any unauthorized entry into the area.
And cutscenes are actually skippable. You can just mouse click through them. So this is the tutorial section of the game. We're just going to have to slowly follow behind Cora because the game doesn't let us go any faster. And one of the biggest enemies in this game is actually the camera, so you'll see him throughout the whole game.
Nice.
Yeah, the camera is probably the hardest enemy too. Yeah, so right now it's just teaching us how to play the game. If there's anything you want to say, you can go ahead and say it.
Okay. Just to let everyone know, if you don't know already, we are SpeedRunsCentral, and we're raising money for Doctors Without Borders, which is a non-profit charity organization dedicated to providing medical care to third world countries that cannot adequately afford the care they need to live sustainable lives. They currently serve over 60 countries across the world, and we are accepting donations via PayPal and credit card, debit card, whatever. So be sure to look for those links in the chat. And then also, if you want, you can share the stream using the hashtag SRC2014 on Twitter and other social networks. So let's spread the word. Even if you can't donate, you can spread the word, and that really helps a lot. So thank you for your support there.
Okay, so this is the first fight. Once again, more tutorials. But having all of the 4 discs unlocked already will also help us as well. Lets us kill enemies faster and kill more enemies in a short period of time. And actually, that you say that in chat, this game is very much like a Ubisoft game. It's like Prince of Persia getting punched in the face by Cyberpunk Daft Punk and running along the walls and falling.
Also, I'm going to head out now and go to bed, and I'll probably wake up in a couple hours. Wonder J13 will be your host for a couple more hours, and then Snow Tiger. So, Good luck, Jamacanbacn.
Thank you. Good night.
Get world record, please. And don't forget the tank part is going to be pretty OP.
See you later, Domi.
See ya.
And if anyone wasn't here, I did say Glacial Thaumaturg in the chat is the world record holder of 1 hour 26 minutes.
Yeah, I ask, what are the 4 types of discs that you were talking about earlier?
Oh, okay. So the first one is the starting disc, and it's called the heavy disc, and it just is mostly just a normal disc, but we will use it a lot throughout the run. The second one is the bomb disc, and it has really good area attacks. Even if you're aiming to a single enemy, it will blow up. Then there's the stasis disc, which will like basically put enemies in slow motion, and we'll use that for a certain type of enemy that can only be killed with it. And then there's the corruption disc, and that's not used at all.
You would think the corruption disc would be pretty OP just by the name.
Yeah, no, it's pretty bad. All it does is it like disables the enemies from like attacking you, but they aren't too much of a threat. And right now this is like a tutorial boss fight. It's showing us how to block and do combos.
You're swimming against the tide.
So there's a good example of killing multiple enemies using the bomb disc, because it has a great ground slam attack. So now we are finished with the tutorials, and now let's actually get into the level. So there's going to be a text box right here, but then there's actually a text box a little further ahead. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to run around to that platform that you kind of see in the corner, and we're going to jump and skip the trigger zone for the text box just to save like a second. I don't know how much time it saves, but I don't like text. And then we're just gonna jump across this gap instead of running along the walls. And another cool thing that you just saw there is actually you carry momentum until you've stopped in cutscenes. So I was able to jump right near that wall so I could run right across it when the text box ended. And there's also other cutscenes later on that you can actually run even in the middle of a cutscene.
Quick in mind. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna let everyone know. We have SOC t-shirts and hoodies and other stuff for sale. All made from Nasri's design. Everyone check out the Redbubble link. It's about to be posted in chat. You can continue.
Okay, so what you might have just saw there is I didn't like do an animation. I just kind of like stood above the button and it just kind of activated. That is like a button glitch, and basically it's like right before a text box activates to tell you how to activate the button. If you hit it right then it activates the button without doing the animation, which can save a little bit of time. Once again, I'm gonna skip this cutscene. Sorry for your Jeff Bridges. So these little tanks right here are just to refill my energy. I have certain places where I will refill it and where I won't. And because I have so many upgrades, my explosive disc actually has a really huge radius that I'll try to just gather a bunch of enemies at. He stood behind the table. And also certain discs work on certain enemies, so that's why you'll see me switch to certain ones. But right now, I'm having really bad RNG with how the enemies are moving around. So that didn't turn out too well just because the enemies decided they wanted to move differently. As you can see, there are a few cutscenes we just can't skip. They're not nearly as long, but you just have to wait for them. So here Cora's going to give us the mag disc. This is going to allow us to grapple onto these red circles in the sky, which there will be plenty more of in the rest of the game. And so this is one of the first skips, really, and then we call it stack 1 skip. Usually you'd have to kill these enemies and then you'd have to use the mag disc to grapple on to the red dots in the air, but instead we're going to run along this wall a certain way, and it's going to let us run to the exit. And perfect, first try. Sweet. And we just skipped that room.
Looks like we're getting another raid.
Sweet. So I'm gonna refill on that upgrade station because it will refill all of my health and tanks. And welcome raiders, thanks for the raid. And so actually, here's stack 2 skip. Instead of running over into a text box, we're actually just gonna run along the wall and jump over. And I also got that first try. Sweet. The raid is too strong. Welcome everyone.
Looks like an in-up raid.
Thanks, in-up.
Thanks.
So I'm gonna refill on this tank on the ground real quick, just so I can kill the next set of enemies. And right here is one of the most noticeable lag spots for loading, because it likes to load a lot right here for some reason. And also something I never mentioned is you'll see me like throw my disc when I do jumps, and that's because you get more distance off of the jump if you throw your disc towards the end of it. And I'm just gonna throw one bomb disc there and kill those guys, and now we're gonna enter the first light cycle segment and enjoy the Daft Punk. This is the best song in the game.
Quick reminder that all the donation money and t-shirt money will go directly to Doctors Without Borders, a great non-profit organization. Please donate if you can, and if you can't, please spread the word on Twitter using the hashtag SRC2014.
Yeah, Daft Punk did the soundtrack for Tron, so there's a good bit of Tron. So that's the end of chapter 1. And there's a ship that spawns with enemies down here, but they don't stop you to do it, so you can just continue on. So here's the first chapter 2 skip known as Bridge Skip. This room you would actually have to hit 4 buttons in, and it will generate this bridge to go across the room, but instead we're only going to use one of the buttons and jump off the wall onto the bridge. I hope I can get the timing right, because it's a pretty precise timing. Okay, I got that first try as well. Marathon luck.
Hey.
And now we're gonna move on to the tank. RIP headphone users. Wonder J, people are saying the title is correct.
Yeah, I'm changing that.
Okay. So we're gonna use the bomb disc on the tank because that's what kills tanks, is bombs.
Fire tile should be changed.
So now we're gonna use the tank. Once again, be cautious, headphone users, because this part can get kind of loud.
We have $15 from Anonymous saying, I think it's a great cause you're donating to. Thank you. Thanks, Anonymous. Whoever you may be.
Okay, so I don't even know if you guys can hear me because the game is really loud, but right here we're actually going to skip a small cutscene of the bridge exploding. You just drop down from the bridge. So it's around the door these 2 times, so we're just gonna go right in and go off the bridge. It's not a very long cutscene, it just shows the bridge explode, but that's what we're watching it. Sorry about the game audio. It's really nothing I can do. The rest of the game is except for the other content. Okay, so enough of the loudness.
RIP headphone users.
Okay, so now we're gonna head to the Solar Sailor core, and there's a lot of lasers in here, so I'm gonna try to be careful for the marathon's sake. Okay, so in here there's just 4 buttons we have to activate, and I'm gonna try to do them quickly. So in this room you can actually move during the cutscenes, but it's hard to get a precise movement to get to the other buttons. Glacial and one of his runs could activate 2 of the buttons while one of the cutscenes was running, but it's not too easy to do. Now we're gonna head to the end of this chapter.
Wow,
Yeah, there will be more tanks. I guess I can turn off the game sound during those parts if everyone wants it, which I'm sure they do.
I heard the user may have been infected by the virus. I hope it's not true.
No, everything in the game I have turned down to the lowest setting in the game. It's just a really loud segment of the game. So I'm gonna fill up on this upgrade station just so I don't have to fill up later.
He is suspected of having been infected by the virus and should be considered extremely dangerous.
Okay, so this is Argia, and there's going to be a lot of parkouring around the level. Whoa. That was weird. My guy didn't grab on. Rip record. Run ogre.
Rip. Quick reminder that you are watching Jamacanbacn run Tron Evolution. Please give him a follow, he's a pretty cool dude.
Thank you. And thank you for spelling my name right. Eight. I almost just died.
Dang.
That thing I was just on has a cycle to it, and it's just a matter of when you get to it as to where its cycle is. So I just knocked that guy off just to be safe because he always bodies me every time. So now we're gonna stop in a fighting room, which you'll see a lot of in this chapter because there's a lot of these rooms. And now we get to fight off with the deadly lasers that I hate so much. It's kind of similar to Prince of Persia's saw blades on the wall.
I heard Radia has no idea where the...
I should have filled up on that upgrade station, but I honestly forgot to. Alright, so now we get to see some more lasers, because they're great. Oh, I almost just jumped into one. I'm gonna wait for them to cycle just to be safe.
Reminder that our next run will be a co-op of Serious Sam HD, the first encounter, with Jamacanbacn and Yoshi Pro, and they have a donation incentive for blood color, which the following are red, green, hippie kids, and none. Please donate for that.
So now we're getting to what I consider the first half of this chapter's ending, and then we'll move on to the second half. And so they're just gonna throw a bunch of enemies at us now because we are a superior fighter and we need to prove our skills. Because this is Prince of Persia. He didn't die. So now this
Another
is also another special enemy, and they, like it says at the bottom, they're weak to bombs. And that's it. So now we have to escape Argia and find Flynn.
We have seen that an ISO survivalist called Gibson escorted Flynn from the city.
Like she just said, we have to go find Gibson.
This
That's what we're off to do.
Been brought to the game grid. Locate him and learn the user's whereabouts. He must succeed.
Actually, the reason I was walking there is just because that platform doesn't let you walk, or doesn't let you run for some reason. I don't know why they would do that. It's so inconsistent, but whatever. Actually, you've already kind of missed Olivia Wilde. She's not in most of the... Well, she's not really in the rest of the game till the ending. She was really just in the tutorial part. And for those watching who have seen the movie Tron Legacy, this is actually the prequel to it. So you may learn something or not, I don't know.
By order of Clue, you will halt program.
Yeah, McBaker, we'll get to see some Olivia Wilde at the end.
For those of you that are unable to donate for this, it would be awesome if you guys could spread the word on Twitter, Facebook, or MySpace. And if you use Twitter, please use the hashtag SRC2014 to get the hype going, spread the word.
So that room, we just had to run along those buttons on the wall. So now we are going to do what's called LFS, or laser fight skip, because there's a room and there's lasers next to it and you skip it. So we're gonna run along this wall and then we're gonna jump towards the platform, and oh, I don't think it worked. We have to hit a checkpoint there. Yeah, no, we missed it. There's a very close spot where you hit a checkpoint, and we're trying to hit that checkpoint. Oh, we actually got up on the platform too. Usually you just kind of die and hit the checkpoint, but that was pretty cool. I've never done that before. Whoa. And that's never happened to me before either. I got hit by the laser, but I didn't even actually die. I just kind of flew off. Oop. I am the one who found the skip. I routed this game. That was also really weird. I hit the laser and didn't die again. Here's another tank part, but you guys shouldn't suffer from ear damage because I don't move a lot in it. So now I get to do some 360 no scopes on these tanks. Whoa. So what happened was one of the tanks just spawned on top of me and I just clipped through the world and died. Which is nice. I didn't get a warning because I don't move a lot in this part of the tank. We're not doing a lot with the tank right now. Now here's another light cycle segment. We're gonna head to the game grid to go find Gibson.
Unauthorized program sighted.
And here's to hoping the RNG boulders don't fall on me.
Initiate highway heat resolution.
All the donations that are being sent in and all the t-shirt sales are going straight to Doctors Without Borders, a non-profit organization dedicated to providing medical care to third world countries that cannot adequately afford the care they need to live sustainable lives. They already serve over 60 countries around the world, namely in Latin America, Africa, and Asia.
looking at the chat and almost died. Good job, chat. So now we're entering the game grid.
Shouts to Chad.
So in here there's just 4 buttons we have to activate to open the elevator. But the buttons for some reason don't appear until you've killed these like 4 guys. And they don't want to die. That's cool.
Cease and desist all operations immediately.
Quick reminder that you are watching Jamacanbacn playing Tron Evolution, and this is his Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Jamacanbacn. Please go and give him a follow.
Yeah, and if anyone sees this game and thinks it's really interesting and wants to pick it up, just feel free to Twitch PM me and I'll let you know everything you need to know. And it would also be nice to have some glitch hunters or something, because I've come across stuff but haven't found ways to use it.
And then I'll take your own disc and shove it up your...
So prepare for the Resident Sleeper unskippable cutscenes.
My fellow program, as you are all undoubtedly aware,
Yeah, for unskippable, can't speak, unskippable cutscenes.
Yeah, it's you're in the game grid and he's like talking to like the city or whatever.
Kevin Flynn of this discovery denied it. Claimed
And this
so wouldn't do this.
I didn't have my energy refilled before the fight.
That Flynn has no more insight as to what an ice
So like he's talking in between the fight and I just have to wait for it.
Since the Icestone's first intrusion into our system, I have opposed their presence. They possess no directives, no purpose. They represent uncertainty and risk.
Wrecked.
Perfection. And now, with the
I'm just gonna take this time to check my email.
we see exactly
Feel free to go take a poop or something.
we must eliminate the virus.
Well, first of all, shoutouts to email.
Only the beginning
Yeah, thanks
And-
email been bro man.
from spreading. Flynn refuses
Alright. Well, we all, at SOC, we have t-shirts and hoodies and some other sorts of shirts and stuff at the Redbubble website, all made from Nasri's design, and they're all pretty cool. Link will go up in chat. Yeah, that's it. Link is up in chat right now. Please go check them out. All of the donation money from the t-shirts will go to Doctors Without Borders.
The good thing about
And-
these fights being on a timer is that even if I mess up, I don't lose time. So now we're done with the game grid chapter. Now we're gonna move on to the kernel. Shoutouts to the Gibson soft lock, and let's hope it doesn't happen. So up here we're gonna activate an interesting glitch. I honestly don't really know what to call it. I've never had a name for it, so I will just call it the no floor glitch. Because it's gonna make the floor in one of the rooms disappear. So we're gonna head over here, but instead of running around the walls to hit that switch, we're actually gonna hit it with our heavy disc special instead of having to run around the walls. And then we're gonna jump down here. Now the floor is not going to be loaded in this room, so once we hit the checkpoint in here, where I'm just gonna hit restart, and now it's gonna reload me back into the room with the floor loaded. There's gonna be an enemy in here, and you would have to fight him using the stasis disc and all that, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna line up and try to jump on this pillar if the game will let me. Okay, and then we skip that fight. And actually the button in that room did not have a light coming out of it, just because the game really doesn't know what to do right now, just because of all the floor not loading and everything. So we can still just activate it. And this one we don't even have to parkour to. I don't know why they added walls to run to it. And now we're just gonna fight a lot more.
Get up here! Sorry, I can't help you from here. Where is he? Where's Glenn?
Yeah, there are some just weird things in general that it's weird the developers didn't catch, but it's probably because this game was probably on a time crunch, because it's a Disney interactive game, and it was probably made like right before the movie, just to promote it. And these are the enemies that you actually have to use the stasis disc on, or else they won't take any damage. And it really sucks that you have to use the stasis disc, because it would be much faster just to hit them, but game. Now, an interesting thing is I have found a way to get to the floor above this room that you would go to next without doing this fight. However, the issue is you need these certain enemies to load upstairs, and they don't, so sadly I can't do that skip. Like I said, if anyone wants to come in and mess around with this game and find stuff, feel free to, and let me know.
What glitches are there in this game?
There's not really a lot of glitches per se. It's a lot of movement-based stuff where it's just I happen to, say, move into the right area to skip a portion or something. That button glitch that I did earlier, where I hit it with my disc, that's really like the biggest thing that I don't really know why it happens. It just does. So this part here actually can get really difficult to try to get through quickly, just because there's cycles on platforms, and there's stuff disappearing and reappearing, and so sometimes you might run into an area and then it's on a different cycle and you can mess up. So I'll try to do my best there. Smash Place. I was practicing Tron. I guess a thing that I never really mentioned is you'll notice I'm doing like little ground slams, but then I also can do a special where I'm running like that. And it's really just a matter of how many enemies are around when I'll decide to do it. If there's like 2 or more enemies, I'll do a ground slam usually, because then I'm just killing 2 birds with 1 stone. And then dramatic boulder dropping because the game needs some drama. So here's the K-Deck skip. There's this corrupted bit on the wall that I'm not supposed to be able to get across, but because of a New Game Plus upgrade, it stops some of the damage from going through and lets me run along the wall instead of just getting hit and dying. And that's also a really important thing that we have that upgrade, because that will also help with a skip later on in the run that we'll use. And once again, right there, that wall, I would usually have to wait for the corruption to go away, but instead, because of that upgrade, I can just run on it. Whoop. Oh, crap. I accidentally just, like, jumped upward, thinking there was another thing to jump on, but instead I failed. A lot of the times, this game's movement can just really screw you over. If you're holding shift and there's a wall there, then your character will either decide to run up it or sideways, and it's really just up to him. So, I'll do little screw-ups just like that, because I'm bad at this game. Yeah, what is that thing? It happens all the time. That's why it doesn't really faze me. So this room is similar to that room earlier in the game where there's the little health-looking things on the wall, but instead they have buttons on them. But specifically in this room, you actually have to put them in a certain combination, because I guess they just decided that a combination would be cool. This is the only room that has that. Plus, after it's activated, we also have to wait for the door to open by killing a bunch of enemies. Once again, they weren't very consistent with the mechanic. This enemy doesn't want to die. Okay, so now the door's open. So, across this bridge is usually where the game likes to soft lock when it's loading this cutscene. So,
Come on, buddy, you gotta run!
and I've noticed it likes to happen when I run faster than Gibson is, so I'm gonna try to, like, stay behind him. Okay, we're good. Yay.
He's grown too powerful!
So now we have to run away from Abraxas, so this is the one-handed segment of the game where I don't have to use my mouse. So if you want to read anything off, go ahead.
Really? Alright. You are all watching SpeedRunsCentral, a 24-hour day, week-long annual marathon, bringing in runners from a wide variety of games and skill levels in order to raise money for Doctors Without Borders. Doctors Without Borders is a non-profit organization dedicated to providing medical care to third world countries that cannot adequately afford the care they need to live sustainable lives. Doctors Without Borders serves over 60 countries across the world, namely in Latin America, Africa, and Asia. And we would like for you guys to spread the word, share the stream on Twitter using the hashtag SRC2014. And if you don't use Twitter, then share on Facebook, MySpace, any other social networks there are, Instagram, maybe. But please do.
Okay, so now we're gonna try to escape the Colonel. Rexus comes through, boom, 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 big bang, movie, Hollywood, swag 420, XX. Now we're gonna escape on Lynn's light bike. Yeah, what's good about this light bike is it just feels much faster, but which can also be kind of bad for this spot in specific because it's a lot of tight corners like that now. So now we're gonna, to sum up that cutscene, Abraxas grabs Gibson and infects him, so now we have to fight him. So Gibson has 3 cycles. This is the first one where he's gonna attack us and then he'll be open to hit. And then the second cycle, he's gonna take over the energy stations on the wall and we'll have to destroy them. And then the third cycle, he just goes all out and we can just kill him.
Hit me! Hit me! Son of a glitch, this hurts!
Son of a glitch.
Spread the pain! much longer. I can't hold it back
So
much
now we're done
longer.
with that cycle.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
So we're just gonna break the thing on the wall, and then some enemies are gonna spawn, and then we'll kill them, and then so on. Yeah, it's not really that complicated.
Spread the pain.
Oh, and he likes to shout "spread the pain," because that's what cool evil villains say. These guys are actually corrupted programs, so if they explode, then it prevents me from using my disc, which can be a pain in the butt.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Oh crap. I just realized I ran out of energy. Okay, that will do.
Oh man, that one.
Alright, so here he's just gonna run straight at us, and I'm just gonna shoot some specials at him. There we go. For some reason, I don't know what they expect you to kill him with, but he doesn't. Keeps on hitting you after. And then Gibson's dead. Rip. What? Okay, that was weird. The map like loaded and didn't load any of the walls for a second.
Lol.
Yeah, I don't understand this game half the time. I have been fighting the camera the entire run.
May I say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright, our next run coming up will be Series Sam HD, A First Encounter, with the co-op being Yoshi Pro and Jamacanbacn, and they have their donation incentive being for the blood color, and the blood choices are red, green, hippie, kids, and none.
Okay, so now we're gonna head back to Argia, which we find out is kind of being blown to shreds. Oh, crap. I ran into a wall. Good start of this cycle.
How are the driving physics in this game?
Pretty annoying. It's kind of hard to tell when you're going to accelerate. Like, you know, sometimes you'll be holding forward and you would think you would start to slow down on a turn, but you'll hear your cycle kind of start to speed up. And I don't know how it is on controller, actually. Glacial runs this on controller, but I just don't like that. I mean, I guess they could be worse. Well, the thing is, there's actually kind of a difference between this white one that I'm using right now and the other one, because this one drives, like, tighter, it can make tighter turns, and is faster. Okay, so we just finished that chapter. I will turn off the sound effects for this tank part that I'm about to get to. I usually wouldn't turn it off in runs, but because this is marathon and everyone wants it off, I'll turn it off. Eh. Oh no, trust me, noob, you do not want on sound effects. Well, that was really bad, and I just got bodied by those two tanks, but it's whatever. So we get to 360 no scope a lot of tanks now, or not tanks, ships. You guys can feel free to put in your own sound effects. And right here's a little 4-button puzzle. So right here I'm going to take a second to hit 3 of them, which will make it easier when I get in there to activate it and move on. Because there's going to be a few tanks that are going to spawn in. And here's to hoping that they don't hit the button I'm trying to hit. But I don't want to kill both of them because it will spawn in another tank. And yeah, he hit the buttons. Good RNG. He hit both of them. have to wrap around and hit the other. So that was really slow, but I've had times where I've gotten it right away and just moved on. Oh, I'm stupid, going the wrong way. Yeah, there's the sound effects. So now we're nearing the end of the tank, so I'll turn the sound effects back on. Notice the sound on one bar. So the lowest setting possible, and it's still extremely loud. Be glad it's not on a higher setting. So now we're actually going to fight Abraxas again. Abraxas is the same guy from the intro and the guy who took over Gibson and all that. So he has two phases. First one, he's just going to slam on the ground and then I can hit him. Now I actually just one-cycled him. The way you one-cycle him is with the heavy disc. When you ground slam, it actually has multiple hits on the ground slam. And so if you stand back far enough for each hit to land on him, then you do full damage. Now, this part is actually controlled by RNG of boulders falling. So I'm going to try to see if I can get him with the boulders to do more damage to him. If not, I can actually control it and... Come on. Okay, it landed on. So I'm actually going to refill up on energy again, and I can actually kill him pretty quickly now. Whoa, no. Oh, that's not good. I just died because he just knocked me off with his thing. Good fight. It's very hard to actually get him to stand where you want him to. There's not really a way of controlling it. He just kind of moves. Yeah, dang. That was bad RNG. I'll probably need another, yeah. Just have to refill one more time. We'll be done with the fight. I don't think they actually wanted you to kill him, like, just with normal attacks, but... I guess they just didn't put in something to only make him take damage from boulders.
You're gonna need some brakes falling your way. Hopefully-
Actually, the hit that first hits him when the boulders start falling is actually intended, but the boulders after that, you're supposed to have them stand underneath the spots, which are random. So now we're in the final chapter. We are going to try to hitch a ride on one of their ships. And here's just a small little skip where I jump across and throw my disc, and I landed. Now this ship has issues loading the characters. Oh, but never mind. It did fine that time. Okay, so now we're actually gonna enter the last area. Now we're going to find Olivia Wilde, everyone's favorite lay waifu.
We've got a $5 2-cent donation from Anonymous saying, "Kid's blood, please, thank you." Thanks, Anonymous.
So here we're just gonna fight a bunch of guys off, and it's gonna be some bridges. A lot of the RNG in this game is like the enemy movement. You know, the movement won't always be the same, and that boulder fight is probably the most intensive one. A lot of the like the lasers and stuff are on a set pattern, but it's a matter of what pattern you get, because they are global patterns, so they happen when the map loads.
External grid fluctuations detected. Always correct. Incursion detected. Sentries respond.
Double kill. Mom, get the camera.
All systems operating within standard parameters. Estimated time to destination, 14.6 microcycles.
So, I want to give a shout out to Glacial Thaumaturg in the chat. Once again, he's the world record holder for this game of 1 hour 26 minutes. And he's done a much better job at running the game than I have. And he deserves a lot more follows on his channel. So also go follow him.
What's his Twitch channel name?
He's actually in the chat right now. It's the one with the blue name, Glacial Thaumaturg.
Alright. Thanks.
Hexadecimal converter now activated. Conversion in progress.
like I said, this game is weird and likes to run on walls that you don't want to run on. So I just died, but the save.
Maintenance schedule posted to all terminals. Please verify.
Okay, it's sending now.
Alright, we're back.
We're back. What's up? Speedrun continued?
External punctuation detected.
Okay.
Course correct.
Well, that's perfect, because this is the biggest skip in the game. This is known as Steam Room Skip. What we're going to do is we're going to run along this wall and land over here on this seam. Then we're going to line up and we're going to do a jump over here. And woo, we just skipped that entire room. That room has several cutscenes. And it's a lot easier to just skip it.
Estimated time to destination, 14.6 microseconds.
Sorry for all the technical difficulties earlier.
Yep. Okay, so now we're going to start heading to the last room of the game, final boss fight. So we're gonna hop on our normal light cycle, and we're gonna head through the bomb transport area.
Should I get ready with time?
Yeah, I'll let you know when I'm about to be ready. I have another boss fight to do.
Alright.
So I'm gonna refill here even though I have a lot. Oh crap, I always run there wrong. So here's some Olivia Wilde.
You've got nowhere to run, pal. It's over.
Keep moving! You're too fast for them!
You know you're gonna lose, right? It's pretty... You just don't know
Oh,
when
am
to
I gonna
quit,
sub
do
the
you,
Benny
Monitor?
Glacial?
Don't know when you're beat.
Take a good look.
Ticking me off by continuing to be alive, Monitor.
Cue those glitches!
Olivia Wilde giving me some backseat support.
Supposed to be elite.
And now we're actually gonna fight Abraxas again. So Abraxas is gonna take control of these energy siphons. I'm just gonna blow them up, and then we're gonna get out of here. Now I'm actually gonna try to utilize button glitching here, because Abraxas is closer to me, so he's gonna try to snipe me, and I really don't want that to happen.
Don't know when you're beat.
So there we go. I just got a button glitch, which is once again activated by jumping into it before the text appears, and it stops the animation. And I don't want the animation to run there, because if he hits me while I'm still mid animation, then it won't do anything to the button, and I have to try again.
Shield him, Abraxas. Slaughter this insolent sprite.
So I do have to kind of wait for him to just walk over here, because it's really slow. Yeah, I believe, I mean, if anyone looks it up, feel free to correct me. I don't really remember too well. But I believe the music in this game is a combination of Daft Punk and the guy who made God of War's soundtrack. Oh crap, I'm about to die. I have to reheal. Going with the safe strats on this one. And here's Olivia Wilde on the floor for everyone.
This is what I created you for, Virus! Fragment that damn glitch already!
So I'm gonna refill on health real quick, just to make sure I don't die at the very end. So now Abraxas is actually gonna take over the middle one. We're about to hear the best line in the game.
Abraxas, no!
Yeah, I don't know why that line's so good, but he just says Abraxas no. Get ready for time.
Ready?
So we just have to blow up this middle one, but we can't hit it until Abraxas has fully taken control of it. And I'm just trying to avoid the enemies around me from disabling my disc. Time.
Alright, 1:32:14.
132? Oh
Yes.
gosh, I think that might be PB for me. I don't even know. I don't know my time.
Like, that is a little inaccurate, but that might be, like, behind. So it might be like a 1:31 or 1:30. So, congratulations.
Thank you. You want me to just I can just let the last cutscene play out for those who haven't seen the movie yet. Then they can go
Sure.
see the movie.
Gonna spoil the movie for them?
Actually, no, because this is before the movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that actually is PB for me. It's not world record, but it's PB. My
Close enough.
My PB is really outdated. My PB was a 138, which is really bad. And world record's 126. By Glacial himself.
Congratulations. Alright. Everyone, that was Jamacanbacn running Tron Evolution for you guys. Thanks to him. Everyone, go to his channel and give him a follow.
Yeah, also thanks to Enop and Professor Broman for the raid. And shoutouts to Glacial for world record. And everyone else who has runs in the marathon, good luck.
Alright, and our next run coming up is Serious Sam, Serious Sam HD, the first encounter, with the co-op with Jamacanbacn and Yoshi Pro that is coming right up next, so please stick around.